Shri Matre Namaha. So till last week we had stopped at Nirlobha Lobhanashini. Nirlobhaye Namaha, Lobhanashinye Namaha. Remember, we did Nishkrodhaye Namaha, Krodashamanye Namaha, Nirlobhaye Namaha, Lobhanashinye Namaha. We'll look at Nissamshayaye Namaha. So there is a Nama, she is referred to as Nissamshayaye Namaha. Nissamshaya. Samshaya means doubt. Sandeham, Sandehapadrathu, Samshayam. It means doubt. So Nissamshayaye Namaha means she who is without doubt. So what does it mean? She has no doubt. No doubt about what? She has no doubt about anything. Okay. Which means that Devi or Mother Parashakti does not have, she is essentially certain about everything. So the positive way of looking at it is she's certain about everything. She has no doubt about anything. What does it mean to us? It means that the way things are, the way we perceive things, the way things are right now, are absolutely perfect. There's no doubt. There's no uncertainty about how things are versus how things are to be. Right? We operate in this doubt constantly, correct? Whether in everything that we do, we think, we act, we carry this doubt about the ideas we have, about the philosophies that we have, the ideologies we carry, the principles that we carry. So doubt is very, very fundamental to the way we think or decide. Our decisions are, in fact, we make a decision and then we doubt the decision we made. Correct? So a lot of times we make a decision, we think with a straight mind, we say, yes, now I made up my mind, this is what I'm going to do, and then we doubt that. So doubt is so integral, and all the parameters, and this is how it works, right? And when we make a decision about something, we think about the parameters that which we can think of at that time, and we make a decision. And we probably are very certain about that decision at that time. But when the parameters change later, then we doubt our decision. We go back and doubt the decision that we made. So we're constantly stuck in this. And if you see, sometimes for some people, it's actually almost like a disease. Right? We're not able to make up our mind about a certain thing and just go ahead and do it and figure out what happens, whatever happens. Doubt constantly puts us in a position where it's like, for instance, if you ask somebody, can I swim? What will he say? I don't know. You'll have to jump into the water and try it out. There's a term that we use, right? Typically in the office space, in the corporate office, there's something called as analysis paralysis. So we take up something, we analyze it to death. We analyze it to the point we get paralyzed. We are not able to make a decision about it. That is also another problem. So we essentially doubt, if you look at it, and then doubt, there are short-term doubts. There are doubts that we take. Even if I have to buy vegetables from this shop or that shop, and then we buy in one shop and then we figure out that there is better quality stuff in the other shop. And then we challenge ourselves. It's good to do this, but then it shouldn't become a mental trauma. A lot of times we lose our peace just because of doubt. Did I do the right thing? Look at it this way. You will never do something that is always right. At the same time, you'll never do something that is always wrong. There will be times you'll end up doing things that will end up being right. There'll be times you'll end up doing things that are wrong. But if you're constantly in this caught up in this cycle of whether I'm doing the right thing, am I doing the right thing, am I doing the wrong thing, you won't. It is a cycle. The thing with the cycle, the problem with the cycle is you're caught up in the same pattern. If you have to break, you have to make decisions, do it, go forward. Okay, that is one thing. Now, when you're saying Devi is Nissamshayaye Namaha, she does not carry any doubt, means what? Means it's not about Devi. Again, as we always say, it's not about Devi. It is about me. It is about this entity that is within me, this consciousness that I am. Is there a doubt? Is there a doubt that I exist? Is there a doubt that I am is there a doubt that what I perceive right now, what I perceive is not the truth? Who's to say what I perceive and what I experience is not the truth? Who's to say? So what I experience, what I perceive is my truth, is my reality. And the important thing is to be in a state of conviction, not in a state of arrogance. There is a difference between being in a state of arrogance versus being in a state of conviction. What we're saying is being in a state of conviction that yes, I am this entity that is present here. I am possibly not this mind-body complex that I am, which keeps changing, but there is there is this entity within me which is unchanging. I am here, that is for certain. And there is this greater entity. There is this greater entity which governs all of this. There is a governing entity which is much larger than me. I have no doubt about it. I am there. I have no doubt about it. There is this governing entity which is governing all of this. I have no doubt about it. And all that is happening is the process of me, that I that is here, is trying to go and attain to that larger entity. So the whole process is this movement. So when we are certain about the eventuality of our life, the eventuality of our life is death. I'm completely certain about death. I was watching a movie a couple of days back, and this doctor comes. Doctor is really shocked. So the doctor is the friend of this man, and the doctor comes and says, you know, I'm really, I don't know how to tell this. You are having pancreatic cancer, 4th stage, and you're going to, and you got pancreatic cancer, and it's fatal. You only have 8 months more. So this man asks, so doctor, am I going to die? Now, I found that question a little stupid, right? Yes, everybody is going to die. The question is, am I going to die now, or am I going to die 20 years later? So the doctor says, you've got only 8 more months to live. It means you're probably, the question is, oh, am I going to die in 8 months? The question, the fact there is, I am so, somewhere within me, I know I'm going to die. I'm certain I'm going to die, but it's not hit us as a reality. If death hits us as a reality, like the way it hit Buddha, then it's very quick. Enlightenment is a very, very instant matter. So there's no certainty about that also. We doubt. We always think that I'm not going to die now. Probably I'm going to.
Someone else will die. That's what during COVID everyone used to say, na, someone else will get affected and they'll die. But I'll be safe.
I am not going to die. Correct. So that what you're certain about is essentially the truths of life you got to be certain about. Not what the events of life they keep changing. What events happen that keep changing, your mind keeps changing, the way you behave, the way you respond to things keep changing. But one thing we've got to be very certain about, and no doubt, carry no doubt, is I exist. The presence that is governing all of this, Isha, in Ishavasya Upanishad, we talk about Isha, or here we talk about Parashakti. That exists, that governing entity exists. And this whole journey is from this to that. That is eventually the journey. Death is not an eventuality in that case. This journey is the eventuality. When this goes into that, this whole movement, and that is what we need to recognize. We got to be really certain that our life is essentially that. Our life is this movement. This movement from the smaller entity to the larger entity. From this Jivatma to the Paramatma. In Vedanta, that's what we say. From this Shakti that we are to the Parashakti. This journey is certain. This journey we got to be absolutely clear about. Nissamshayaya namaha. Once we are absolutely clear about that, and everything in your life will align to this certainty. Everything that you do in your life will then align to this certainty that you've created now within your life, that this is what I'm looking for. This is absolutely what I'm wanting to be in tune with, in complete unison with. Not after death. After death, what happens, we don't know. Correct? The Grantha says, the Purana says, the scripture says, Shastra says, whatever they say, but you don't know for sure what happens after death. So no point talking about that. But you know surely that there is this movement that's constantly that is there, that is from the current inadequacy that I carry, I am trying to go towards Purnatvam. That Purnatvam I am seeking constantly, that seeking is there. I am wanting to fulfill myself. Fully fill myself. Fulfill myself. This is the process. So, in this process, we got to be really certain. So when we are looking at Devi and saying Nissamshayaya Namaha, Om Nissamshayaya Namaha, which means with certainty I know you are there. You are present. That entity is there. And that entity is also present in me in a much lesser, possibly in a much lesser glory, but it's the same presence that is here. So this movement has to be recognized. And then when we live life with its certainty, see, which is why you see a lot of people, if you've come across sannyasis and Swamijis and people who you see and you recognize that they've probably attained, you see that they live with a certain level of certitude. Not certitude knowing what is going to happen. I'm not saying that. We don't have to draw conclusions on how things are going to be. Not that. It's not that certitude. It's a certitude that this is the way things are. And it's beautiful as the way it is. You'll see that certitude in such people. Now, where does it come from? It comes from a place of nissamshaya. No doubt. No doubt about what this is, what that is, and what the relationship between this and that is, and how this whole movement is. That's all it requires. And once we come to a conclusion, rather, I wouldn't want to use the word conclusion, but once you've come to a resting place within you that there's no doubt, there's no further doubt, and then everything you will see will align to this. Everything else will align. So then she is Nissamshayaya Namaha. She is Samshayagnyai Namaha. Samshayagnyai Namaha, which means she is the one who destroys this doubt. She is the one who removes this doubt also. So if I doubt whether she is there, what Shastras, what Lalitā Sahasranāmam is saying is, if you doubt that whether she is really there and she is operating, then you go to her and she is the one who will destroy the doubt also in you. So to be with certitude in her, you start the journey with doubt. That's how you start the journey. The journey starts with doubt. But we come to a point where we are absolutely, through life's experiences, through studies, through contemplation, through sadhana, whatever you do, you come to a certain recognition that, yes, Ambal is there, Devi is there. In the deepest of my troubles, she is there. In the darkest of my times, she is there. In the most undiscomforting of my time, uncomfortable situations, she is there. Then you'll see how magic works in our lives, right? I mean, a lot of us would have experienced this. I held on to faith. You'll say, I held on to faith without a doubt. Without a doubt. I held on to that faith without a doubt. And then you'll see out of the blue, something happens. Something beautifully happens. So this we have experienced. The only thing is, the problem that we also fall into, even with our gurus or with the Ishta Devata, is we constantly keep testing them. He'll say, oh, okay, now you have done it for me. The next time I'm in a problem, then you'll doubt again. Are you really there? And then again, through grace, you'll get something, oh, okay, kadavul irukar. Ambal irukka. Na vendinda Shirdi Baba ena kai vidala. We will say those things, right? Baba didn't leave me. My guru didn't give up on me or whatever. But the next time we have a problem, again we'll doubt it. Baba, where are you?
Because we are only thinking of them when we have a problem. All other times we are happy.
Correct.
Problem வந்தாதான் இதனாலதான் வந்தது இந்த ப்ராப்ளமே.
நம்மளே வந்து எல்லாத்தையும் வேணும் வேணும்னு கேட்டுட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் அதுல பிரச்சனை வந்ததுன்னா அதுவும் ப்ராப்ளம்.
அது கேட்கும் போதே சரியா கேட்க தெரியல.
அதுக்கு யாரும் டியூஷன் எடுக்கலையே.
So I think this is important, this thing that we go through. So we go through, and then every time we test, it's a test of our own faith. It's not the test of that deity or the Ishta or the guru or whoever that is there. It's a test of your own faith. How much faith do you carry in your conviction? And so when you go through this process again and again and again, we have to come to a point in ourselves, yes, it's enough number of times I've seen grace work in my life. Now, do you doubt that there is grace? Now what? And I have to work on becoming a recipient of grace. Now, how much grace I receive is up to how big my patram is, my vessel is. I become a better recipient of grace. And this is the process. So we become Nissamshayaye Namaha. And if you're unable to become that, then we go hold her feet. She is Samshayagniye Namaha. So she'll come and remove the doubt in you. You hold her feet in devotion, in love, in whatever, you hold her feet. And enough times you will go through this process when she will remove the doubt in you. She'll clear off the doubt. So Samshayagniye Namaha. Next two namas, Nirbhavaye Namaha, Bhavanashinyay Namaha. Nirbhavaye Namaha is the one who is not of this Bhavasagara, which means Bhavasagara. Bhava means in Sanskritam means to be. Bhava, to be, is. Now, it is also representative of Samsara Sagara. Samsara is also known as Bhava. So she is, in a way, she is not affected by this samsara. Samsara is essentially what? The cycle of birth and death. So she is not impacted by that. And she is also Bhavanashinyay Nama. So she herself is the one who removes this Bhava, the presence of this Bhava within us. So there are two terms that usually go together. Bhava, Bhaya. Bhava, Bhaya, it's a term that goes together. Bhava is samsara. Bhaya is the fear of samsara. So she is Bhavanashini. She is also Bhayanashini. So what keeps us held here in Bhava is our sense. Hello? Hello? Okay. I thought got hung. Okay, right. So in Bhava, essentially the samsara that you experience, the experience of samsara that you carry is filled with fear. It's filled with doubt. Because we don't know where we are going, what we are doing, what's happening to me, what am I supposed to do, where am I heading, and all of this. So we are stuck in this cycle, in the cycle of Bhava, samsara. So she is one who exists within us as Nirbhavaya Namaha, which means there is a space within you which is not impacted by any of this. So then you hold her feet and you go to that space. Bhavanashini, she is the one who removes this fear or this bhava or the samsara of the cyclical pattern that you carry within you. She clears that and she brings you to a state of Nirbhavaya Namaha. Nirbhava as means you are in a place within you where you are not impacted by the samsara. You are not impacted by what is happening. You have found that place in you which is Nissamshayaya Namaha, which is Nissamshaya, without any samshaya, without any fear, Nirbhaya, Nirbhavaya, Nirbhayaya. So you've come to that place in you which has got none of this, which means, it doesn't mean that you become jada. There is a stone or a rock in my garden. It does not have any bhava, it doesn't have any bhaya, it doesn't have any samshaya. You're not talking about becoming a rock. You're talking about becoming a conscious being which is not disturbed or perturbed by any of this, because there is this constant energy field that we carry with ourselves. We carry this force field, which is Shakti, Parashakti. You carry this field that is constantly protecting you. All it takes is a moment to visualize, right? In the deepest of troubles, we just close our eyes and instantly visualize Devi in whatever form we want to, whatever form we hold her dear. We think of her and we think immediately she is providing us a protective shield. See, these are things that we can bring into our daily lives. And you'll see how day to day, whatever you do, it becomes, you do your aradhana, your sadhana separately in the temple, in your prayer room. But when you live day to day on your interactions, everything, everyday interactions becomes a sadhana, becomes an aradhana. It becomes an aradhana, because then your mind, your whole being, you're trying to bring that energy. You're trying to bring that focus. And then you are in this state. Then you tell her that, oh Mother, Nirbhaya, Nirbhavaya Namaha, Samshayaya Namaha. And so you are completely in that space where I have no doubt you are there. You are there with me all the time, right? So when you go through this journey, this is extremely important that we bring these aspects in our day-to-day engagement with the world and with ourselves. As we intensify this, then the presence of Devi becomes more and more real to us. She is not just an image in the photograph or a murti in our prayer room. She becomes a living reality with us constantly. Right? And that is the whole attempt. The whole Lalitā Sahasranāmam, by chanting, if we feel that presence within us of her, and then the purpose of the chanting and the purpose of this whole thing is achieved. Okay. So with that, we will pause here today. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyeva Buddhyatmana va Prakrite Swabhavat Paromi Yat Yat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayati Samarpayami Sadashivayeti Samarpayami Jagadambikayeti Samarpayami Sadgurunathayeti Samarpayami Hari Om Tat Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.